Good morning, class. I'll continue with Pandas correlation. Correlation is a statistical concept that quantifies the degree to which two variables are related to each other. So we need to identify the correlation between variable 1 and variable 2. Correlation can be calculated in Pandas using CORR, correlation function. So let's look at an example. So we import Pandas as usual, create data and then data frame. So we want to check the correlation between temperature and the ice cream sales. Okay, so it's quite easy. It's very direct to calculate the correlation matrix, which is print df dot correlation. So for the data that we have here, created as a data frame here. So let's copy and run. So the correlation temperature to temperature is 1, and then ice cream to ice cream is 1. Okay, but temperature to ice cream is 0.9 and ice cream to temperature is 0.9, so it's vice versa. So the value of correlation is 0.9, so it shows it's quite high. Okay, here the correlation coefficient between temperature and the ice cream is 0.9, which is a positive, and this indicates that the temperature increases, the ice cream sales also increase. So this is how we calculate. So the coefficient value of 1 along the diagonal represent the correlation of each column with itself. Okay, like this one, 1 and 1. So it's a diagonal. Last time we learned in matrix, right? Positive and negative correlation. So positive correlation means once the temperature is increasing, ice cream sales also increasing. Okay, that is positive correlation. Negative correlation, when the temperature increasing, the sale is decreasing. Okay, from the lowest temperature to the highest temperature, the ice cream sales is decreasing. So this is what we call as negative correlation. Okay, next example correlation between two columns. Again, we use the same data set. Okay, temperature and ice cream. So we want to check which column okay, instead of finding the whole correlation matrix, we can specify the column. We can specify the column to calculate the correlation between them. Okay, so df temperature dot correlation df ice cream sales. So we want to print the correlation. So the correlation value without, okay, the previous one it shows you like a matrix, right? Okay, but in this case it shows only the correlation value, which is 0.923. Okay, so the syntax for doing this is correlation is equal to df column 1 dot correlation df column 2. Okay, next is missing value. Data frame may contain a missing values, not a number, so the correlation function completely ignores, okay, the rows with not a number values. If your row consists of not a number like this one, that particular row will be the correlation function ignores completely the row with that particular row. The whole row will be not included in the calculation. Okay, so we have import pandas and numpy. So data, temperature and coffee sales. So create the data frame, calculate the correlation between temperature and ice cream. So we have a temperature and we have a coffee sales. So with none value or not a number value, so print the df with f correlation. So they print with the correlation value. After we remove the missing values, and you know, right, how to remove, we already learned. So drop NA, so drop NA in place true. After that, you guys can use without none, okay, not a number value. So the DF temperature correlation, DF coffee sales. So we'll get two different values, one with NaN value, one is without NaN value. So let's see the example and the output over here. So the first one with NaN value, it's a negative 9231. Next one also the same, 0.9231. So this is just to show you that it actually gives you both the same answer, because the whole row, this one, okay, these two are ignored during the calculation. So once the rows are ignored, so how many rows the balance will be? Out of 5 rows, 2 is gone, so we left only 3 rows. Okay, the types of different types of methods in Pandas. We have Pearson method, Kendall method, Spearman method. So these are quite popular methods, but by default we have Pearson method. Okay, example of Pearson method, Kendall, and then Spearman methods. So the data is temperature and the ice creams here. We create the data frame. After that, we come out with the first one, Pearson. Second is Kendall. Third one is Spearman. So first, DF temperature dot correlation with ice cream. Next, DF temperature correlation with ice cream, but the method is equal to, you have to mention the method, which is Kendall. Why we need to mention the method name? Because by default in Python they use Pearson method, and same goes for the Spearman method. We have to declare the Spearman method, and finally we print out the values. So when you print this, you're supposed to get 3 different values possibility. So Pearson coefficient 0.9, Kendall coefficient 0.79, and Spearman coefficient is 0.89. You see here, the calculation is done for the same data set, but it gives you different coefficient. Perfect, good, and bad correlation. Perfect correlation, it's a positive correlation that implies that every increase in one variable, there is a proportionate increase in the other variable, indicated by a coefficient of +1, positive 1. So if negative correlation, it's by -1. It signifies the increase in the one variable leads to proportionate decrease in the other. So this one is decreasing. Okay, it's a negative correlation. If positive correlation, when they say perfect, which means that all the dots are aligned to the line, the red color line. Next, go for temperature versus sales. This one is almost there. It's a negative correlation. Bad correlation, this one. We have a multiple dots here, which means data points, but we still unable to connect them to the minimum one. Okay, so this is what we call as bad correlation. So if you guys can understand correlation. Next, we'll continue with Pandas plot. Thank you.